How's it going, everybody? Jordan here, and in today's video I'm going to go over the best legendary spears in Assassin's Creed Odyssey. If you enjoy this video, please remember to leave a like and subscribe. It goes a long way. I'd really appreciate it. Let's get right into it. Spears are one of the most popular weapons in the game and have the most legendary selections of any weapon type, and there are plenty of great ones. One of the best features about the spear is that it has a pretty decent attack speed. It's not as fast as a sword or dagger, but it's not as slow as the axe or the heavy blunts. It's a pretty middle of the road in terms of armor penetration and attack speed, making it a very good overall weapon to use. One thing that is extremely unique about the spear is that it has a bit of crowd control to it. It's great at keeping enemies away and at a distance with its long attacks, and does great work at staggering enemies back, allowing you to build up combos on them to finish them off. The only thing that can be hard to use about the spear is its overpowered ability. This can easily miss enemies and doesn't lock onto enemies like some of the other weapons do. But to fix this, I'd recommend using the target lock option before you use the overpowered ability on the spear. Alright, let's talk about the best legendary spear for each playstyle in the game. For the warrior, that spear is the Staff of Hermes Trismegistus. Again, I hope I pronounced that correctly. You can acquire this spear by finishing one of the main storylines in the game, and it's technically an endgame legendary weapon. Even though it's called a staff, this weapon is in fact a spear. It's in the spear category and has all the spear animations. This is probably one of the best spears for the warrior playstyle. The primary perk is warrior damage, and its secondary perk is chance to ignore half damage, which it's the only weapon in the entire game that has this perk in this spot. Epic weapons cannot use chance to ignore half damage perk, and only other items that can have this perk are the helmet and waist armor pieces. That being said, when matched with a helmet and a waist that has the chance to ignore half damage perk, this spear can make your warrior build extremely tanky, which leads into its third perk, which is the legendary perk of this spear. Low chance to gain a 30% health shield when hit. I wasn't able to find the exact numbers, but I figured low chance is around 2% to 5% chance. Now this legendary perk plays perfectly into the tanky warrior playstyle, because while this health shield is active, you are essentially invulnerable. A gold field appears around you, and any enemy that tries to hit you ends up dealing no damage and gets stunned and staggers back, allowing you to use the spear to finish them off. Once enough hits deplete the health shield, the shield will pop and blow back all the enemies around you, allowing you again to pick them all off. The best engravings to pair with this spear is likely more damage engraving, like damage with spears, or if you're using an elemental build to increase your damage, something like fire damage or poison damage. This spear doesn't deal a lot of damage with its inherent perks, but it's extremely useful and worth it for a lot of warrior playstyle, because you're going to be taking a lot of hits when you go in to fight people in forts or conquest battles. Alright, let's talk about the best spear for assassin players or assassin damage. This spear is obviously going to be the Fogs of Olympios spear. This spear can be acquired very early in the game because it's lootable from an underwater chest located northeast of the Caldera of Fate and southeast of the island of Paros. The underwater location is called the Palace of Amphitrite. I believe I said that correctly. Just remember to shoot the sharks with your arrows from your ship before you dive to loot the chest. You don't want to get eaten. This spear is amazing for assassins and has probably one of the best legendary perks in the game. It's a cursed item though, which I'll get into in a moment. The primary perk is assassin damage. The secondary perk is adrenaline perk crit, and finally the third legendary perk is it has a 100% damage increase, but it caps your health to 25%. Now this perk is amazing for assassin and hunter playstyles that plan to stay at a distance and don't plan on taking any damage, but you want that 100% increase in total damage. The spear allows for that, and if you end up getting into hand-to-hand combat, you better be good at dodging and parrying. Luckily though, because of the increased damage output, you won't have to dodge and parry for too long because you'll kill your enemies very quickly with this spear. The best engravings to pair with this spear is either more assassin damage, elemental, or crit damage to go with the additional adrenaline perk crit secondary perk. This spear I tend to only use on assassin builds every so often, but it's one of the best spears because of its legendary perk, and you can engrave that perk on any weapon of your choice for any build that you want to increase your damage on. Finally, the best hunter spear is the Achilles spear. Achilles spear can easily be acquired also so by looting a legendary chest located in the Olynthos fortress located in Macedonia. The primary perk for this spear is hunter damage. The secondary perk is damage with spears, giving it a really nice extra boost to your melee attacks as a hunter, and its third legendary perk is 20% damage with multi-shot. This spear is great for hunters who want to deal more damage in conquest battles or in large groups. The additional spear damage makes melee attacks with the spear all that stronger while making sure your multi-shots deal 20% more damage, which is amazing considering that multi-shot is arguably one of the best hunter abilities in the game. Multi-shot is the best at clearing conquest battle, and that additional damage goes a long way. The best engravings to pair with the spear is either fire or poison damage if you're using elemental damage on your build, or any number of hunter engravings to increase your overall hunter build damage. 30% armor penetration isn't bad for any of these spears either to get an additional boost of armor penetration to make these spears hit like axes. So those are the 3 best spears for each playstyles in terms of damage and for builds. What I want to showcase before the end of the video are some honorary spears that I think you should also get your hands on. The first one is obviously going to be the Poseidon's Trident. You can find this trident on its own island surrounded by a bunch of lions located on the eastern middle part of the map. Now this spear isn't the best at damage, but it's very mandatory for acquiring underwater loot because it allows you to breathe underwater forever. Plus the spear is the best underwater weapon and it helps you fend off sharks due to its long range of melee attacks. Another great spear for warriors can be found in the Helix store or the Oikos of the Olympian store, which is the Bident of the underworld. There's a lot of spear and warrior damage on this spear, and its legendary perk is great for warriors because it increases your warrior damage by 25% and only reduces your range resistance by 15%. So those are some of the best spears in the game. Let me know if you use the spear or what you do or don't like, and is there a legendary spear that I didn't mention that you'd like to show out there? I'd love to hear it in the comments. And remember, if you enjoyed this video, I'd really appreciate a like and subscribe. Go ahead and hit that bell if you want to hear more Assassin's Creed Odyssey content. I'm going to be rolling out more of these videos going over the other legendary weapons in the game. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.